My name is Hugh Fitzmaurice and I'm a secondary school teacher, and I'll pass you over to Maura.
Hello, I'm Maura O'Higgins and I'm a chaplain in a secondary school in Dublin City.
So this week we decided that we would look at how am I as an educator as the seasons change. And that's our theme for this week. And I suppose that just came up for me personally from the point of view of we're near the last week in September, and we're heading into the light's going to change in the next few weeks, and how to manage and mind my energy in the next few weeks as we're dealing with we're in school and we're in classes and with people, so how to manage that. So that's what I'm kind of thinking at the moment.
To get ourselves into that peaceful frame of mind, will we drop into a pause for a moment?
Yeah, great stuff, Maura, absolutely.
Thank you, Hugh. I find that pause, it's so powerful. It embodies me, or that's not the right term. It brings me into my body straight away and takes me out of my head. And in preparing for today, I shared with you, Hugh, that poem that I found from John O'Donoghue, "For One Who Is Exhausted, a Blessing." And it really resonated with me, this poem, because during this week, I caught myself twice in work wanting to burst into tears. I was just so exhausted from wearing those goddamn masks, which are really important, but trying to figure out, are the cotton ones better? Are the paper ones better? Think of the environment and the paper ones. And it's just, and if I'm going through that and my colleagues are going through that, it must be doubly hard on the children. They're 6-7 hours sitting in a classroom with masks on. And you know, when teachers preparing their lessons, we're using a lot more the screen on the whiteboards, and we're darkening the room, so they're in a darkened room. The windows might be opened, but it's like they're in a cave. So we have to be really careful about giving them mask breaks, taking them outdoors to walk. And it's been a blessing, and I'm really grateful for the fact that the weather's been good. So we've been able to have the children wait outside before coming into the building and take these regular breaks outside. And it's not been uncomfortable for them because it's been fresh and beautiful weather. So John O'Donoghue's poem, "For One Who Is Exhausted," really resonated with me this week. And if I could just read for you the beginning of it, I think he captures beautifully that exhaustion.
Yeah.
When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. That's what's happening. I think in the classrooms, the light is dimming. Nature is changing, and for very good reasons, the light is changing. And light, it's such an important part of how we cherishing our well-being, is cherishing the light of nature.
Absolutely, Maura, and as you said there, you know, it's not natural that we all have to wear masks, you know, and it's more difficult to breathe, and it's warm in the masks in the classroom and talking with students and colleagues. So it is imperative that we look after ourselves, you know, and on the, I'm very aware of the light will be changing, as we said, in the next couple of weeks. And as you said, the colours in the leaves are changing. And a friend of mine was telling me during the week that's the reason for that is that the tree sucks in the energy to prepare for winter, to look after itself, you know. So I was thinking of that. I said, look, I need to in order to how can I bring back to myself, so and to help in the classroom and to help with colleagues would be, I suppose, I need to slow it down, you know, for myself through maybe taking a breath with the class at start, slow it down through nature, being aware when I go home just to take time out at nature, or if I can, just a small garden, even just to walk in my feet in nature, to get just a sense of just restore. because I think it's the news can take everything away from you. You're listening to news and it's just this is chaos, this is happening, that's happening, and listening to less news only when I need to is important, I think. And in order for me to be at my best in the classroom, it's important just to get to put more emotional money in the bank. It's just to slow down. And even as I conduct the classes, helping the lads to slow down, because I'm sure their minds are going, especially junior certs, leaving certs, first years, lots are going on, lot of things are going on at home, as well as what's going on at school. So for me to be calm within myself, I think that will resonate with others. So but it takes a lot of effort, and it takes awareness. And I know it's very, very important, to as you said, as the light dims, to realize that my energy can dim as well, and to restore that, I need to have good, fruitful conversations with colleagues, and be aware of not to get too into the gossip columns and giving out about people. It's not good long term for me anyway. And to connect with nature, and to connect with myself, just to slow it down, and then bring back in what am I grateful for? What are the things that are I'm grateful for in my life? And I think that will help in the classroom as I go throughout the school, and cultivating that energy, like in ripples, throughout the school. I think that's really important as these seasons change. As you were saying, Maura.
It's true. And John Kabat-Zinn, again, that wonderful man, who I've never met. I've heard him talk, but he just 45 years ago developed these practices and attitudes, and then he wrote them down. And one of them is having gratitude, an attitude of mindfulness, which is to have gratitude. And I think you're so right. I think when we put that layer of gratitude, when it underpins how we are, it just gets a bit easier to be consistent, to store, like the trees, what we need to prepare ourselves for winter. It's that bit easier when we cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I'm smiling because John O'Donoghue, his words just speak so well to us. And in that same poem, he has this line, stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. And that's so important. Not easy in a school.
Not at all, no. I think you're dead right. It's to have some fun. Learning is about fun, and the kids are full of energy at the back of it all. They're teenagers we're working with, and they're full of vitality, and they can be very funny. It's stuff to say, and there's thankfully there's a few colleagues of mine that they are very funny as well. Just not to be, I suppose, to remember. I have to say this to myself, to step back a little bit, see the bigger picture, and see, I suppose, the wonder of being where I am, the privilege of being in the classroom with young people, working with young people, helping in some way, helping them to cultivate wellness throughout the day within themselves, if I can, and then with myself as well. So, and just some of the things they come out with are very funny, and some of the conversations, and why not? Life's too short, So I think maybe for me to. They often say, what's your intention for the day? Or maybe my intention for the week ahead is to, look out for them. We say the quiet miracles, but it's about maybe the humor and the joy and a good laugh as well. I think the more at ease we are within ourselves, the more the learning happens. So, to step back. I think for me, it's that idea of stepping back, seeing the bigger picture, seeing this is a place we're full of young people. And thankfully people who really love their, are really interested in their job and passionate, and I'm part of that, and to take some joy in it, and embrace it, and the humor, within it. I think that's really, really important, it could be. I'm just very, very grateful to have a job. These are challenging times for so many people, so grateful to have that. But at the same time, I'm aware I need to just to pay attention, to restore myself, and as nature is, and to take time to cultivate positive conversations, and to be gentle with myself. You know, I think John O'Donoghue says in that poem as well more about to be gentle with ourselves. You know, I think that's important, not to be criticizing, to be too judgmental. No, I didn't do this, I should have done that. You know, everything passes, and to be in the moment, as we said in the last podcast, being present, it's vital, not to get too caught up in our heads about judgment and expectations and stuff. So
spot on, you spot on, and all of that reminds me of how human we are, and how ordinary we all are, and how much fun we all are, and how blessed we are.
Absolutely.
Can we maybe finish with the last piece in John O'Donoghue's poem, where he says, gradually, if we do all of these things, you will return to yourself, having learnt a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time.
Lovely, Maura. And I think this could be a subject we'll come back to again as time goes on, as the seasons change, you know, over the next while. But that's a beautiful piece to finish on, I think, isn't it, for this week?
It is. Yeah.
We drop into stillness just as we finish.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maura.